Yo everyone, this is my full card recap of UFC Fight Night Royval vs Taira, and I'm actually going to go through the entire main card now, starting with the opening fight of the main card, and I'm going to finish the video with the main event and any other notable fights / events on the prelims. If you would like to hear my thoughts on any fight in particular, or how I did on the card for predictions, timestamps will be in the comment section below. Now without further ado, let's get into the first fight of the main card, which was Daniel Rodriguez versus Alex Morono. Daniel Rodriguez defeats Alex Morono by split decision. I will say, before I talk about this fight, I got 8 of my predictions correct out of the 12 fights that were on the card, so not bad overall for channel results. I did pick Daniel Rodriguez to get this one done. Morono did surprise me early on, looking pretty fast and decent on the feet, and his movement around the octagon was quite solid, at least in the first round. Rodriguez ended up having a better second round and clearly won the third round in my opinion after that. I had it scored for Rodriguez 2-1, but I could see a world where they give Morono the second round. It was a decent fight, entirely on the feet, which was pretty action-packed, and we move on down the card to Grant Dawson finishing Rafa Garcia. So it was an amazing performance where Grant Dawson took him down, beat him up in the first, and secured the takedown again in the second, and ground and pounded him into the ground for an easy win. I did pick Grant Dawson to get the win here, and I'd like to see a decent jump up in competition level for Grant Dawson now. Maybe someone just inside the rankings, maybe a Joel Alvarez, or maybe even a Fares Ziam after his win against Matt Frivola. That's what I'd probably like to see next for him. Nice finish by Grant Dawson. Moving on to the next fight of the card, which was Chidi Njokuani versus Jared Gooden. I honestly believe Chidi Njokuani won this fight in the clinch. Most of the fight was held in the clinch against the fence, and he was able to unleash way more volume than Jared Gooden there and continue to have a decent volume even in the second round. I actually decided to go with Jared Gooden in this one because even knowing Chidi Njokuani was the more technical fighter, he tends to gas out later on in the fight, which he did slightly, but not as much as I thought, since he was able to establish his own pace in this fight, and I thought Jared Gooden would be able to take over if he did end up gassing out. Jared disappointed me big time though, especially in the last round, since he had been working for the takedown the majority of this fight, and he was finally able to get it and land in top position at the start of the third round, and I thought this was his time. It was finally his time to turn things around and potentially get a finish on the ground, but he immediately jumped off and let Njokuani back up, which made no sense to me at all, and sort of secured his defeat in this fight. So overall, it was a great performance by Chidi. It was a clear win for him. Now we get to move on to the co-main event, Brad Tavares versus Junyong Park. Now this fight was a pretty decent one, but mostly because Junyong Park decided to throw caution into the wind and brawl with Brad Tavares. I was very sad about the decision to brawl, since I thought he was going to get caught, and since I picked Park to win, I really wanted him to use his grappling advantage to do it. I gave Tavares the first round, and I gave Junyong Park the second round pretty clearly because of the overall striking volume he put on Tavares. He ended up having more success with his grappling once it got to the third round, and he secured the rounds 2-1 in my opinion to get the win. I was surprised with the split decision, but I'm also not surprised since it seems the judges love dishing out split decisions no matter what, especially as of recent. Anyways, enjoyed the fight, happy for the Iron Turtle, and we move on to the main event, which was Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira. Brandon Royval defeats Tatsuro Taira in this matchup. It was a crazy fight. I will get this out of the way now. My prediction was that Taira would win, most likely by decision, since I thought that he would be able to secure 3 rounds potentially via his grappling advantage. This was a very close fight, and I did say in my predictions that I thought it was a 50-50 going into it. Brandon Royval really edged out the decision in this one, and he wholeheartedly deserved it. I believe first round was to Royval, second round was Taira's, and potentially an arguable 10-8 for some people. I personally scored it a 10-9 for Taira. Third round was Royval's, and fourth round was Taira's. It really came down to the fifth, and what won it for Royval in my eyes was the takedown reversal halfway through the round. Incredible display of grapple scrambling experience, and I honestly believe Taira will learn from this and come back stronger. He deserves to be at the top of the division for sure, and I still believe he's a future champion in the making. I stand by that 100%, but he needs to work on his stand-up for sure. He got exploited by Royval in his stand-up. He definitely needs to work on his boxing defense and overall head movement as well. Congratulations to Brandon Royval, and since they gave the title shot to Kai Asakura for some reason, I believe Royval could potentially fight Kai Kara France in a rematch, and the winner 100% 100% gets a title shot at the belt next. That's my opinion, and that also wraps up my thoughts on the main event overall. Other notable events on the card were Ramazan Temirov had a crazy debut. He finished CJ Vergara inside of the first round. I did pick him to get a finish potentially in this fight. Pat Sabatini submits Jonathan Pierce inside the first round, which was also crazy to see. Temba Garimbo easily beats Nico Price. I had Temba going into this. Happy to see him get the win. Junior Tuffa and Sean Sharaf gassed out by the second round. Was a crazy fight while it lasted. I did go with Junior Tuffa to get this one done, but he almost looked like he was going to lose in this fight. Next up, Julia Pilastri beats Corey McKenna. Good performance by Julia Pilastri. She's definitely pretty solid in the stand-up. Cody Haddon puts on quite the performance against Dan Argueta as well. And lastly, Clayton Carpenter submits Lucas Rocker in the very first round. That's pretty much it for my UFC Fight Night Royval vs Taira recap, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you would like to support me and the channel. Appreciate all the nice comments I receive. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.